What's up guys, Valence Ring here, and I want to bring you another video all about heroes. And I get asked this question a lot. It refers to when a hero goes from 5-star to 6-star, which is commonly also known as red star. So when you red star a hero, take them to 6 stars, you unlock a fourth or last skill for them. Now, this skill only takes effect, if you look here, their hero skills. The hero skills only take effect during match 3 gameplay. Their rage skill does not do the same thing in match 3 gameplay as it does in troop battles. In troop battles, you're working with tactical skill damage, and when you're doing match 3 gameplay, you are looking at their hero skill specifically. As you can see here, I have a 6 red star Ulrik. It's not this level up here is the enhancement level, which you do have to be enhancement level +5 to red star hero, but it's these stars down here. This is 6 stars, also commonly called red star. Hopefully eventually they'll come out with 7 stars and so forth and so on. However, when you unlock a red star hero, this last skill slot unlocks. You can see here I have some that are not red star. Let's go down to Ironclaw, and you can see his last skill is not unlocked. Level 6, 6 stars is required. There are 4 main types of skills that I'm going to talk about today, and those are all based upon these last skills. Now, I will say this, normally speaking, when a hero fills up their rage, their main hero skill is this top one, and this is their main skill that always goes off. The other ones require you to unlock them based upon leveling them up. Getting them to certain points will unlock certain skills, and red star unlocks the last skill. So when you do the rage skill, this first skill goes off, as well as any extra hills or skills. See how they say enhanced active skill. So if it's an enhanced active skill and it doesn't specifically say that it's passive, then it takes effect once their rage skill goes off. So not only, is Ironclaw doing the metal ripper, he's doing the focus energy, the gore, and the revival all at the same time. So what is this 4th skill? I get asked all the time, what does target weakness mean? And most of these are fairly obvious. So let's go back to Ulrik, and I'll talk about these in order. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Ulrik's skill of Unbending. Now there are quite a few heroes actually with this skill: Ulrik, Leah, Meyers, Agent X, Zephyr, Hayul, and those are the ones currently that have the Unbending skill once that hero reaches 6 star. So it's pretty obvious it increases block rate by 30%. An interesting note is that these are usually, if not always, a passive skill. So that means that the hero, once unlocked, always has this skill active. And because it does increase block rate by 30%, this means that it blocks it for Ulrik, not all heroes, that having Ulrik in your lineup, he automatically will have an increased block rate of 30%, which is pretty good. Now, block doesn't just mean that it prevents an attack. It can also absorb attack damage. So if in some cases, if it lands as a block, which it's a random hit, okay, based upon a percentage of their block rate, if that block works, it can either block the full amount of damage or a portion of the damage. And that's important to note. So having a good block rate is super important, and Ulrik has one of the best in games that I've seen just based on experience. But it will increase the chance of blocking some, if not all, of the damage. And the higher the level of his opponent will determine if it blocks some or all, and of course there is some randomness to it. So that's Unbending. It's a great skill. It's passive. It's always in effect on that hero particularly, unless it says increases all allies block rate, then it just works for this hero. Most passive skills are going to work specifically for the hero. So then we have let's talk about combat skills. This is one of the more common ones. Combat skills increases crit rate by 30%, and this is on most of your, fighter, not fighter specific, but your attacking type heroes, such as Phoenix, Atropos, Requiem, McCarty, Marlowe, Ephraim, Levina, Meyers, Leah, and Tomoyo. So those are the heroes that have this skill, and again, it is passive. You can click on it here to see, and you can see that it's maxed out, but it increases crit rate by 30%. So what is critical rate? Crit rate is critical rate, and critical rate means the odds or the percentage of times that a normal hit, will end up being a critical hit. Now, while it doesn't specifically say, the difference between a normal hit and a critical hit is normally 1.5 to 2.5 times damage. So let's say Phoenix does a normal hit of 100, a critical hit could be 150 to 250, maybe even 300 damage. They don't have a specific number tied to what a critical hit is. A lot of games play it at double damage. A crit damage is double damage. Because the damage isn't set in stone, like she doesn't always do exactly 100. A lot of it depends upon their defense, the attack, and a bunch of numbers that come into play. But the fact is critical hits are what we want. Critical hits take a normal hit and boost the damage. Whatever that percentage is, we can say is technically irrelevant. The point is you're doing better damage. So there are a lot of heroes that are like your main attackers, the ones that are doing the best damage, that are going to have this skill. It is passive. So critical rate increases the chances or the odds of a normal hit turning into a critical hit. And this is very good skill, and that's why so many heroes have it. So let's talk about the next one, which is similar but different, and I actually misquoted this once in an older video, but this is the skill called Iron Will. Now this increases critical resistance by 30%. So this blocks the chance of a critical hit by up to 30%. So if, let's say, you got hit by Fox with a Phoenix that has a crit rate increase of 30%, she is going to drop that rate back down to 0, or not completely, but back to a normal level, so it won't be boosted. And if the hero doesn't have an increase in critical rate, then she is going to get a bonus of 30% chance of a critical hit. So this means that more likely those hits that she receives will not be critical hits. So this is really important for your defensive based heroes, and that is why it's on predominantly your healers. So you have Fox, Lady M, and Eve currently have Iron Will, which increases critical resistance by 30%. So this basically is a counter to combat arts. But it also adds a bonus if the opponent doesn't have combat arts, then you're getting that 30% reduction in the chance of a critical hit to this hero, which is really cool. Then there's the last one, and this one can be a little bit confusing, and this is target weakness. Now, target weakness says it increases the impale rate by 30%. Now, what is impale rate? Now, I will say, normally I have an idea of exactly what this is, but every game implements it slightly differently. In this case, I do believe this is a counter to Unbending, which is increases block rate. So normally a hero has a natural affinity to block damage, either a portion or the whole thing. Impale rate, because it's targeting their weakness, what that means is it's not allowing those blocks to occur. So this, in this case, for this game, I'm going to call impale rate the target or the counter to Unbending, which increases block rate. So this will allow more hits to land more often and at full damage, and if it's a critical hit, with the additional crit damage. So this is a really, really good skill. This is one that I really like to see on heroes. This and crit rate up, because it means that you're going to be doing more damage more often. And realistically, that's what you want to look at. Is this hero going to be able to land more hits? So a lot of heroes, especially with Ulrik at 6-star, may miss Ulrik, 1 out of 3 or 4 times. A pretty high percentage rate for a hero to miss. Well, Obsidian will miss less often. He has that Impale rate. He's going to hit fairly often because he's targeting the hero's weakness. So, that being said, there is some room for debate on Impale rate. What it sometimes means is that it ignores some defense. That's usually what it means. And it could mean that in this case, where basically because it's targeting weakness, you could say like you're looking for a chink in the armor. So it would basically take out some of the defense and ignore it. But because of the way they have this set up for the other 2 skills, I'm going to assume that Impale rate is the counter to Unbending. So that's everything, guys. Definitely get your heroes up to 6 stars, the red star heroes, as soon as you can. This only applies to 5-star heroes as far as this video goes right now. Things may change. They may allow heroes to be leveled up, but chances are they're just going to add more heroes. So this will only apply for those heroes that have the ability to go to 6-star, which right now, as of this video, is only 5-star heroes. Once you get them up, you unlock that special last skill, and right now there are only 4 skills available, which are combat skills, Iron Will, Unbending, and target weakness. And the heroes that cover target weakness are Obsidian, Scarlett, Ironclaw, Mantis, and the new hero Hayul. So that's everything, guys. I hope that helped. Obviously, if you still have any questions, put them down in the comments section below. I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. And of course, you can join my Discord server. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out and continue the conversation there. If the video helped, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep seeing videos like this. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.